Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today's video is going to be part 2 of our vivarium build. In the last video you would have seen us build this background, so today we are going to be planting, and the first thing we're going to need is our hydro clay balls. And the next thing is some mesh, and this is to prevent the substrate from getting into the clay balls. And for our substrate I'm going to be using a mix of cocoa fiber, topsoil, some sand and some bark. The ratios of these I'm not too sure, but it's mostly topsoil and then cocoa fiber, then orchard bark and then the sand. And we're going to be using 3 different plants in this build. The first one is the creeping jenny, and what you need to do with all of these plants to prepare them is first remove them from the pot they came in. Then all of the earth needs to be removed, or what you can remove of it anyway. You'll be left with the plant and roots, and do this for the other plant. And the reason for this is sometimes they have some fertilizers or some non-organic things in the soil to help the plants grow, and these can be quite bad for your vivarium. The next thing you want to do is wash the roots and the plant actually in some warm water. So I did this for all 3 plants. The third plant I did months ago when I first bought it, and it's a fern. So that's already prepared. So the first plant we're going to be planting is the golden creeping jenny, as I spill the substrate all over the tank. And this is where removing the lid would have come in handy, but of course I didn't think of that until later. And I'm hoping over time the creeping jenny will travel along the back wall of the vivarium. And I'm going to be using some rubber ties to stick it to the back wall. As you can see, I've since removed the lid and now have found it easier to plant the creeping jenny. I should apologize for the state of my jumper, I was painting. So these are the rubber ties that I'm going to be using. You can find them in any garden centre. And I'm just going to stick some of the creeping jenny along the back wall just to make sure that's where it travels. And the next plant is going to be the fern. Now I can't remember the name of this fern, and I threw away the docket thing that came with it. But I've had it for months now and just waiting to plant it. So it's going to go into the bottom left hand corner. I'm just going to build up the substrate a bit more. I kind of want it a bit deep at the back. Gonna add some more substrate. So I'm going to add another cork tube, and this is for a great hiding place for the animal that when it will eventually get in here, it will be a great hiding place. I was hoping to put a baby or juvenile gargoyle gecko in here, and unfortunately because of the coronavirus, where I was going to get the gargoyle gecko is actually not going ahead. It was Ireland's Reptile Expo, and that's not going ahead this year, so unfortunately I couldn't get the gargoyle that I was going to get. But hopefully in the near future we will get one, and this will be a suitable home for him or her. But at least it will give the plants time to kind of settle in and adjust and all of that. So I'm just adding some cork bark in the back. You can never have too much cork bark. And then the next plant that went in is the house leek, and I'll put up the Latin or scientific name. I don't quite know how to pronounce it, but that went in the front on the right hand side, and you'll see a close-up of that shortly. Next I'm going to add some moss, and this is just normal sphagnum moss. It's going to help with the humidity and just give a decorative feel really. I'm now adding in the springtails, and I'm hoping to get some isopods as well to go in here, but at the moment we just have springtails. So I'm going to put almost an entire culture into this vivarium. And then leaf litter. And finally give it a good spray down. And that's it. I really like the way this has turned out, and I hope the plants take off. So hopefully we can get a nice little gargoyle gecko in here at some stage, but until then I'm just going to enjoy it the way it is. And the next build we're going to be doing is on this one, and we're going to be putting a hog nose in here, so it's going to be a different setup. We're still going to go bioactive, but yeah, that will be the next big build coming up shortly, so stay tuned. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please subscribe, give it a thumbs up, comment something, and yeah, see you all next time.